I made the mistake of assuming, and I'm like, oh, well, he wanted to be with me so bad, and now we're together. It would be redundant to go back and say, clearly we're an item, girl. Like, this is how young I was and how dumb I was. And the way that I found out was he was coming over one time, and I didn't have anything to do that day. Lily was in daycare, because sometimes you need to put the kids in daycare whether you got work or not. It's just, my parents will understand. And I was like, oh, you're staying, right? I have, nothing to do. I have time. And he was like, oh, I'm just coming to get my earrings. I left them last time I was over here. And I was like, what do you mean? He was like, I have a date. And I was like, oh, wow. Like, I almost choked on my spit. And that was the moment that I found out that we weren't exclusive.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is so devastating, actually, especially for a young woman.
Yeah, I was 20. I had a baby. My daughter was 1 year old, so I was a new mom. I was, pretty freshly single, and just very lonely and wanting to be loved and very vulnerable. And I kind of fell for, I feel like, the first sob story that got thrown my way.
Yeah, because that is a very vulnerable time, and sorry that happened to you.
It's okay, girl.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Young us have been through the ringer with a lot of things. At least enough time has passed so you can look back and be like, ugh, but you're not devastated about it.
Right.
I have so many stories that are crazy, but I'm not devastated by them because enough time has passed.
Yeah.
And to me, I'm like, oh, I learned something from each scenario. In that case, there's obviously a lesson there, not to assume. Right.
And also, I wasn't in love. I definitely had strong feelings. I had a hurt ego for sure, but I wasn't in love.
Right.
Which helped.
That also, I'm realizing, helps me too in my dating situations. I'm not in love with these people. We never get that far. I think that's the issue. It's just there's not enough compatibility, or the person's not acting in a genuine way. For someone to, that guy we just talked about, invest 2 months in playing make-believe, essentially. I'm not actually getting to know you. You're not actually getting to know me on a deeper level. You want to hook up, but you're just faking it for 2 months. I'm like, dang, if you're genuine about somebody, you can really bond, get connected, have long conversations, stay up till 3 a.m, really get to know each other. And you could be in love by month 2 and 3 and all these things. But if you're just playing games, you're not going to get there. So part of my dating fatigue came in when I'm like, I'm just sitting across from so many people. I'm not in love with any of these people. We're just going through the motions. So I'm like, let me take a break and recalibrate and work on myself.
Right.
And that's definitely what happened. But I don't think I will be public with a relationship unless behind the scenes we're already talking marriage and stuff, because I'm just too old for that. It's we're not teenagers, and we're just grown. We know how we are with money. We know how we are with our family. We know our eating habits. We know if we're clean or not. We know enough about ourselves as adults that you can just get pretty deep pretty fast if you have direct conversations.
Yeah. I think, and it's so crazy because in telling you that story, just doubling back real quick, that was 14 years ago. And luckily I've gotten over it, because 14 years is a long time to be in pain and still wallowing over the past. But what I can say that I would do differently now is when I realized that I was catching feelings, and I was, my feelings were strong enough to trigger jealousy. I feel like maybe that should have been the moment that I just kind of confirm, hey, what are we? Before we spend any more time together, before this goes any further. Or maybe even, asking, what is your intention here? What are you looking for? But I guess the story was so convincing that I was like, oh, you're looking to be in a committed relationship, because that's what it sounded like. So it's why would I have to ask you again?
But the not with you is silent and in parentheses.
Right. And that's where I think sometimes there's a level of yes, it's still on me to ask and get clarity, but because of the way it was manipulated, I also didn't think I had to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At least with my husband now, moving forward, we established that we were official on the second date. But that was because we were just bro, we both know what we want. We're not kids anymore. We've been talking for a substantial amount of time. He always knew that he wanted a wife. That didn't mean that he knew that he wanted to marry me right then and there, or vice versa. But we were just how many more hour-long phone calls do we have to have? Is you for me, is me for you, and boom. And I love that about him. He was not about them games.
Yeah, I don't think there's too many intentional singles out there, because hookup culture is still pretty advertised,
Mm-hmm.
which is not fulfilling. I don't think it's fulfilling for men or women, to be honest, because I feel like only like the really handsome jock can even pull a bunch of girls anyway. Because like the average guy, if he steps to you, I feel like most girls wouldn't go for it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I think it's skewed, what they advertise, like, online and stuff, like, thinking, like, oh, guys are single and then they can bag everybody. I'm like, no, there is a sexless epidemic happening. There is a loneliness epidemic happening. A lot of people aren't hooking up with anybody. People are just out here single. So I'm just like, that mindset where someone is looking for a husband or looking for a wife, I don't hear people talking about it too much at all. People are just kind of just coasting. And I hate when I end up on dates with guys who are just coasting. And then the what are you looking for intentional conversation can happen in the beginning. And they all say the same thing. Oh, I want a relationship, want a family, but they never specify when. And even a couple dates in, they never specify with you, or that they see potential with you. So it's just like they're just kicking the can down the road and just chilling. And so I've asked, what are we? But at the end, when I realized nothing's happening here.
Okay.
Like, so say it's 5 weeks in, 5 months in, that's happened before, where I'm like, hey, so, and then that's when they're like, yeah, well, whatever word salad. And then we release each other. Cause I'm like, you shouldn't have to ask is what I'm getting at. Like, the energy should be mutual, and you just kind of, you're both bursting at the seams to be like, yes, I was waiting for you to say something, like excited like that. And if it's not like that, to just alone together.
Yeah, I don't think there's definitely not a one size fits all. I don't think it's like, oh yes, you should definitely define a relationship by 3 months or, 2 weeks. Like you just can't. But as long as, like the energy is reciprocated and but I don't know, you just have to also both be really honest people. I think there are a lot of people out there that aren't really that honest and they're just gonna say whatever they want to get whatever they want. And that's not fair. So you almost have to like I hate that you have to guard your heart to a degree. But if you're still like, in the stage of dating where you're weeding people out and you don't know their intentions, it's like how do you tell somebody to like be vulnerable and share but also guard their heart at the same time? But it's like that duality.
Yeah. I mean, it's easy for me to take that advice because I've just lived enough so that like, yeah, I'm not going to be naive enough to fall for flowery language again or anymore because I have before. But that's like the wisdom that comes with time and with age. So the actions definitely would have to match the words. And I don't believe in calendar milestones either, like a 3-month rule or anything like that. I just think you have to hit like certain intimacy milestones. Like if you haven't had deep conversations, if one of you haven't near shed a tear, maybe, I don't know, then you're not really having real conversations. If everything is surface or everything is superficial, like you're hot, I'm hot, let's smash. Like it's not intimacy.
Yeah.
That's just like lust. It's very different from like, let's build a home together and build wealth together. And those are specific conversations.
Like I know I have been thinking so much about how I want to talk to my daughter about these things, about what love is, how it should make you feel, the purpose of dating, the whys and do's and don'ts. And also, how can I deliver this in a way where she really goes, okay, mom might know what she's talking about. She might still roll her eyes a little bit, but she knows what she's talking about. Because I was always so disgusted. If my mom tried to talk to me about birds and bees, anything, it was bleh. And I'm like, all right, is that unavoidable, or is there a way that I can like get through to her? Because I do want her to have healthy experiences and safe experiences, and I know that I cannot prevent that first heartbreak. Like that's part of the process, but I just want her to enter into dating when she does in the healthiest way possible. I want her to have like a strong sense of self and not have her esteem so influenced by a partner. But like that first love is so strong. Like your sun literally sets and rises on that person. And I'm just like, Lord help me.
I have an idea from Universal Auntie.
Yes, please.
To create a safe space. Like it is, no matter how cool of a mom you are,
You're always a loser.
You're always a loser. Like, it's not Gilmore Girls. It's not going to be that relationship. So, like, she will never, like, it's like kind of cringe, like, talk to your mom about stuff sometimes. So I think maybe give her the option of like, hey, if there are things you want to talk about, allow her or tell her that's okay to like talk to her aunt or something, you know, like be like, you don't have to give me all your information and like, I'm not trying to invade your privacy, but I do want you to be safe and blah, blah, blah. So please talk to an adult, like whoever is a vetted, safe adult.
So I will siphon you all the talking points and you give the advice that she won't take from me.
Essentially, yeah.
Got it. No, but that's really good advice.
Yeah.